left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. A red Zerg player coming out from the land of Taiwan. He is a little bit of a wild card in this season of DreamHack. He was one of the most unlikely players to make it through, going for a 12th fool. He is going to be representing himself. He is MysteryMan, otherwise known as Rilakuma.
Yeah, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, one of the best Protoss in all of Taiwan. He is blue. It is ButAlways.
MysteryMan does not mess around. Game number 1, let's go.
Well,
12 pool, and if you'll recall, this was something that he utilized very, very successfully in the close qualifiers, which is how he was one of the most unlikely players from that qualifier to make it through to the main event.
For those who didn't tune in, obviously we were lucky enough to cast both the open and closed qualifiers for Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Morocco, Japan, all that good stuff. And as you said, Mr. Heishi, MysteryMan, oh my god, as we also have a proxy hatch, MysteryMan was able to be the Hong Kong killer there. He took down Beastork and Go-Go Joey to qualify for the entire tournament, which was insane. Both Beastork and Go-Go Joey being favored. So now here he is in the main event, in the group stage, kicking things off with everything, mate. He's popping off. He's gone for it.
And he is. Is he gonna let that hatchery finish up and then cancel and go for a... Oh no, I suppose you can't wait for it to finish up, but is he gonna cancel and go for a spine crawler? That's what I want to know. And a spine crawler will eventually die without creep, but still.
Yeah, it looks like that is not the plan here, but you know what? That Zealot is walled off. It cannot defend at this gateway, so the gateway will straight up die, and then the Lynx can come in, get us around on the Zealot, maybe even... I don't think that's a full wall behind this. Okay, it's not...
With the Zealot, it will be.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hatchery should finish up. The Lynx are dancing a little bit around those Zealots. They want to make sure to get as good a surround as ever. Zealots versus Zerglings at a choke point will always favor the Zealots. But it looks like MysteryMan is satisfied with the amount of damage he's done with that proxy hatch. He's expanding right now. He's getting his gases, working on stage number 2.
Oh, that he is here as MysteryMan does back off. What's important is that ButAlways had a probe out on the map, and with that probe he was able to double check and confirm that MysteryMan was expanding behind this. So he knows it is safe to cancel everything. He doesn't need any shield batteries. He knows that the aggression has ended.
The aggression from the Zerg side, but now it's ButAlways' time to try to be aggressive. MysteryMan, though, trying to catch these reinforcements as much as possible. Already dealing some hull damage to the Stalker.
Mate, that was some beautiful, sexy micro from that Stalker, mate. The way that he was able to dance and move, and despite being surrounded, slip out of the clutches of the Lynx. That was insane from ButAlways.
Absolutely. I think we call that a lubed up Stalker every now and then.
Yeah, he was lubed up from head to toe. Has to be careful not to play with fire too much here.
Yes, the Queen is in position to start chipping away at that Stalker self.
Definitely, but he was able to get one more Link kill before returning back. Just quickly checking, ButAlways did not confirm that a third was on the way, so he doesn't have all the information, so he is a little bit in the dark. Meanwhile, ooh, we saw that Forge. ButAlways looking to slow things down potentially if he does throw down a Forge eventually.
Yeah, I can't imagine he'll be using that Forge for upgrades, not considering the player ButAlways typically is.
And there it is.
Purely going to be for cannons.
Forge gets thrown down, and we all know what that means. There is no Twilight Council behind this. It is not 4+1. It is, in fact, 4 cannons, as ButAlways goes straight into a fleet beacon.
You'll love to see it. It's one of those things where ButAlways is known for being the player who, even before the Void Ray buff, was very into Sky Toss, but now that that's the meta, ButAlways wants to add his own spin on things, you know?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I know it happened twice last season. I can't remember which 2 players. I know one Zerg was Rex. Was the Protoss ButAlways? It was the series that cut into DreamHack EU like an hour.
Oh, that was ButAlways versus Go-Go Joey.
That's a Gogo Joey, yeah.
It's always ButAlways versus Gogo Joey, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised they aren't facing each other in round 1. They're in the same group again.
Yeah, they're in the same group, people. I apologize to everyone in the chat, but if there are probably people watching right now who didn't tune into DreamHack Fall, but in DreamHack Fall last season, ButAlways and Gogo Joey, it wasn't just once, by the way, it happened twice, because they faced each other again in the elimination match. They had insanely long ZVPs on 2000 Atmospheres and on Romanticide as well.
I think that was one in Blackburn too.
Yeah, Jesus. And it cut like a solid hour and a half into
DreamHack EU.
Yeah. And because we were also covering the B stream for DreamHack EU, we just had to sit there and wait. And the player, everyone was waiting. Everyone was in the chat. Just everyone was memeing it up. Oh my god.
I had to wake up at like 7 a.m. that next morning.
I felt so bad for you. You're like, oh yeah, I could be there for like half the broadcast or something, and then suddenly, ButAlways versus Gogo Joe was like, no.
Alright, well, I'm liking the response here from MysteryMan. He knows who he's up against, so very quickly went for the Hydra Den, ButAlways did scout that. He's going for a Tempest, which I'm surprised we're seeing this as often as we are tonight, Light, but...
Yeah, it seems like this is a little bit more prominent in this region here as the Tempest, overextending a little bit, but with only Queens and no Hydras, the Tempest should just barely be able to get out of range. Ooh.
Like so.
Oh boy, and yeah,
actually able to take out 7 drones of it.
Yeah, and yo, we have a very different variant of this. Earlier today, we saw a very big commitment into these Tempests and nothing but Tempests. But even though, but again, we only have one single Stargate. I'm surprised it wasn't double Stargate Tempest. He's going into Blink Stalkers from here, and it's being scouted.
Huh. Alrighty then. Well, I really like that ButAlways is trying to sort of juke MysteryMan around. He confirms the Hydra Den. Fortunately, this Tempest is super exposed, will get taken out before that shield battery can finish. And oh my lord, will MysteryMan be able to just take it from here?
I think so.
He's got more than enough army.
Yeah, the shield battery does get focused down despite the overcharge. There was only one shield battery here at the location whatsoever, so the third base will go down. Meanwhile, ButAlways, he's trying to fortify his natural, but he loses another Tempest.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of players underestimate the range of Hydras with... I don't think they even have group spines yet.
Oh my god, they do have speed, but they do not have range. As the Hydras are powering on through, the boys are forced to be pulled. Every single probe is going to go down because Link's come in as well. ButAlways losing so much. He may just barely hold on, but again, he's just lost almost every single worker here.
Yeah, I really like the mineral walking there on all of those probes, but you got to remember how fast Hydralisk fired their projectiles and how much damage it can deal, and how little health probes actually have. So that ended up harming ButAlways a lot more than helping him, even though he did get a really nice round initially.
Exactly. And you know what, MysteryMan, he's saving us from a long, drawn-out series. He's just going for the kill here as he's killed 31 workers. The third base is still alive, surprisingly. I will say that, but damage is still being done, and MysteryMan, he is so far ahead now.
Even taking out all these ground units with the Lynx. I mean, the Lynx is still around. The Tempest will be able to one-shot the Lynx, but they fire so slowly. Question mark, says ButAlways. As, yeah, it's a bit of a mystery to him. But GG is called MysteryMan, otherwise known as Real Akuma. Takes game number 1.
No GG?
He did GG.
He did GG. But oh my god, what a game 1 here. Again, ButAlways for the longest time has been the solid third place here in this region. You know, it's been Haas and Nice battling it out for 1 and 2, and then ButAlways is number 3 as the third best Protoss, third best player. Again, kind of just like taking the place from Rex this entire year here. But for MysteryMan to come out of the qualifiers, take down Beastlord, take down Gogo Joey, and now he's up and only needs 1 more to take down ButAlways. It's crazy.
It really is. Guess we'll see if that, I know where I was going with that. I wanted to tie into banter or something like that. but I remembered I can't read Mandarin.
Oh my god. Crazy, mate. Crazy. As we're getting ready for game number 2, but always wanted to try and get into his game. And again, we talk about Jagannatha all the time, how it's such a great map to go into SkyToss to get into that late game. What I will say is that we didn't get to see it flourish, but I was so, I don't know if inspired. I was intrigued. I was so intrigued with what the hell ButAlways was gonna do. Like, again, going fleet beacon, going for a fleet beacon and only staying on one Stargate and hard switching into Blink Stalkers, like that's crazy. Oh god.
Yeah, I like the idea from. Again, I like the idea from ButAlways there, where he was trying to juke and jive MysteryMan. Again, confirming the Hydra Den and then deciding, you know what, I'm going to switch into something a lot more gateway focused.
Mm-hmm.
But then MysteryMan sort of realized, you know what, I have a lot of Hydras. I just kill you right now.
Yeah, he was going for a Hydra timing, which is something that we see a lot from a lot of these Zerg players, right? Whether it's me or Mike or someone else. No, it's either you Roach Ravager push or you go for some kind of Hydra timing. What's interesting about it is that it wasn't with +1, it was just with Hydra speed and with a massive wing flood behind it. And specifically because it wasn't double Stargate Void Ray, like, again, it worked out well. You could also argue that our Protoss player did kind of maybe miss micro a little bit and overextend with his Tempests.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the recurring theme of the evening.
True.
Such as you like seeing
Stop
Tempests out. You need to, you do need to practice. You need to practice the control on them quite a bit. But regardless, we're gonna continue our series here on Oxide LE. We're in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of the map. The Red Zerg player coming out for the land of Taiwan. He is currently teamless, representing himself. He's a bit of an enigma, a bit of a riddle. He is MysteryMan. Surprisingly up 1-0 against the third best player from Taiwan.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have that player. It's himself, the Taiwanese Protoss, one of the best in the entire region, currently down in this best of 3. It is ButAlways. I'm loving the question marks in the chat.
Catching up.
Oh god. He's like, what? What even just happened? What just happened? Well, to be fair, man, you're the one going really the question marks were for you, ButAlways, because you're the one that was going like fast.
Oh, and Tempest.
Not even just Tempest though. Again, like one Stargate Tempest. Like who does that? I've never seen that before. It's crazy.
Well, now we can confidently say that we have seen it at the very least.
Yeah,
so
I've seen it lose as well.
Something. Well,
haven't seen it lose.
Well.
Oh god. But yeah, that was wild, and we'll see what happens here in game 2. What the hell does our Protoss player have in store for us? Because as you were saying at the start of game 1, ButAlways, he's kind of known for his SkyToss.
Yeah. Can call him a bit of a hipster or a bit of an OG, depending on your views, I suppose.
He was SkyToss before it was SkyToss.
Exactly. Not just SkyToss. He was Void Ray before Void Rays became meta. And now that they are meta, he's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, is that one of those things
where be like everyone else?
Yeah, is he like a wannabe hipster? So like he's like just like doing other things just to be different, and it just doesn't work. We'll see. We shall see.
Well, they've been able to work out for him more often than not, I suppose. So.
Yeah, and we'll see.
Bit of an explanation for his success.
We'll see if we can find some success here this season in winter, because we do have another Stargate opening. But do you think that he is thinking, look, I know that this can work. I maybe slipped up a little bit too much here, but I'm gonna show everyone that it can work and go Tempest again, or is he gonna go more standard into Void Rays?
I hope that's not what he's thinking. Because he would be thinking wrong. Such as I do like my Tempest play, I do want this series to go to distance. It's the last one of the evening when it comes to Taiwan, Hong Kong.
Same. I do want to see it. Maybe the ace match, maybe the ace match.
Yeah. And then it succeeds in the ace match. How hype would that be?
That'd be insane, mate. So far, we do have one Void Ray coming out, and it's going to be able to snipe down this Overlord, make it difficult to see, to scout what the follow-up is going to be, but we have still yet to see what that is, right? Are we going to see a second Stargate? Are we going to see Fleet Peak? And he's doing it! He's doing it again! Oh, no.
Well, for his sake, I hope he tightens up what happened in the last game.
The control. I think the control is probably the biggest part.
Yeah, probably.
Like, he lost like 2 or 3 Tempests for free. Like, good.
Pretty much. Well, I guess you can bring up the big debate. Would you consider positioning as part of control or as a separate,
yeah.
a separate skill? I think it would. I mean, it's part of the same umbrella.
Yeah, I guess you could distinguish between the two. I guess you could. But we'll see how it's going to be here for ButAlways. I think what's important, though, is that we have a very different game here from MysteryMan. MysteryMan, he's still on hashtag. He hasn't gone for a lair yet. He is setting himself up to go for a Queen Roach Ravager push. The creep highway has already started its head towards that third base. So that means that MysteryMan is going to be a little bit less aggressive, and ButAlways is going to have a little bit more freedom to do what he wants before that push comes.
Absolutely. These roaches aren't going to do too much against the Tempest. Now, again, if the Tempests do get a little bit too exposed, then Ravagers will have an absolute field day. These Tempests are unfortunately not the fastest units out there. But it's definitely a big if. MysteryMan's anti-air is going to be a lot more limited to Queens this game.
Yeah. That's the big thing here. Ooh, as this time, okay, we do have a different variant here. And that is that it is going to be double Stargate. He isn't going to try and go for the bait and switch. He isn't going to try and go for Blink Stalkers like in game number 1. Which I do think I like. Again, on Oxide, it's a much more defensible map, so he's going to try and set up here with cannons and shield batteries and defend this third. Meanwhile, MysteryMan has finished droning up.
Yeah, and I'm going to make another drone for the... Well, ideally in his mind for the rest of the game, but yeah, at least until he needs to, at least until he makes a 4th base, he's not going to drone up at all. The Tempest already getting the position. A couple of shield batteries being made by the proxy location.
What?
He's establishing himself quite a bit of a foothold, but a fairly expensive one as well.
He's going to die.
So he's forced to
he has to recall away. The shield battery has already died. The cannon is died. It's a single Tempest all on its own. What I was about to say was that...
The piles land on the Tempest.
It's slow, man. What's it gonna do? It can't get out of it. Another pile lands. That's what I mean. Like, the problem is that the Tempests were seen, and MysteryMan didn't care. He's like, you can make your Tempest. I'm just gonna go for it, mate. And the pylon is gonna go down, and Artosis pylon at that. Everything gets depowered. The Queens are focusing down whatever they can. They haven't died because they have plenty of energy for transfuse.
The Tempests are exposed again.
They're always in the Tempest, mate. They're always exposed. The Lynx come in, they flood in, they kill everything at the natural, and now they're busting into the main base. The Queens just don't die.
The Tempest is just out of range of battery overcharge.
No, the Tempest.
Things are going a little bit better this game for ButAlways, but the foundations collapsed under him.
Oh my!
If he was on a ladder, that ladder just completely fell.
It did. Meanwhile, this is still a really awkward ramp to push up, so these Queens are not going to kill everything, but the Lings are. As the Lings go crazy in the main base, every single one of these pros is going to go down. We need to see a transition from MysteryMan, by the way, because Queens are not going to cut it. We need a lair. We do have a lair. We need like we need like a Hydroden or a Spire at this point.
Yeah, either or. The last thing MysteryMan wants to be right now is overconfident, because sure, he's decimated the economy of ButAlways.
Oh, yeah.
But there's always, but there's always a possibility that ButAlways utilizes what units he has left. This shield battery, this foothold hasn't been dealt with, so MysteryMan can still find quite a lot of damage in the counterattack.
We have seen a similar scenario. If you remember, we casted Ender versus Starduck, and Starduck went down to 3 probes. But he had like four Void Rays left over, and then he went across the map and he won the game. So ButAlways can do the same, because he kept, despite his Tempest getting extremely low, he kept them alive. Where's the anti-air? This Spire is late. Very late Spire, very late response. We have 1 Spore. Like, damage can be done here for MysteryMan before the Corruptors come out.
Yeah, a couple more trying to burrow. MysteryMan trying to zone out these Tempests from that shield battery location. I will say that this Spire just needs to finish up. MysteryMan is building himself a bit of a bank. He's got plenty of spare supply. He just needs one round of Corruptors. He should be able to deal with Sky Toss. ButAlways has no economy. He's unable to remake any of his air units after this.
Oh god, exactly. Like, again, ButAlways is all in, and he's slowly getting there. This third base is dead, mate. It is so exposed. Every single spore went down. The drones need to be evacuated. MysteryMan, now he's taking another base, but it's a little bit too late. And yo, ButAlways doesn't care about the base. He wants to kill. He wants to kill all the queens.
He's exposing his Tempest for
again.
No, one of them goes down.
One of them goes down, mate.
Has been taken out. Basically a fifth of the damage potential of
what just happened?
Has been taken out.
Mate, what just happened is devastating, because ButAlways chose not to kill the third and go for the queens instead. Because of that, the third survives. The third survives, the drones survive as well, Corruptors take everything down, and there was an opportunity there for ButAlways, but he was a little bit too greedy there, and now he's forced to recall and he barely has anything left.
I mean, even if he was able to take out that third base, it would have been rough, but at least things would be a bit more even.
Yeah.
Right? Now MysteryMan is even... Exactly, now MysteryMan is even more secure in his victory.
Exactly. Now he's coming across the map. The shield batteries aren't done yet. The Corruptors are focusing down the Tempest one after the other. Both Tempests go down, and now it's only Void Rays. And typically Void Rays are pretty good against Corruptors, but not when it's like 1 to 15.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward ratio going on there. Oh, but you know what? Corruptors don't shoot down, and ButAlways has a sentry. Not gonna be enough. MysteryMan takes that series 2-0.